This is breaking news from 7 Eyewitness News.
Good evening. We begin with breaking news that hundreds of hospital workers have been waiting to hear for more than a month. It appears the Mercy Hospital strike is about to come to an end. Employees have picketed outside Mercy Hospital since October 1st, but now that strike has been suspended. Jeff Rusak joins us live outside Mercy Hospital with the details of this still tentative agreement. Jeff?
Jeff, for the first time in a long time, it's quiet outside of Mercy Hospital here in South Buffalo. Picketers told to go home, and that's what they've done. The strike beginning early in the morning on the 1st of October after a long night of the CWA and Catholic Health trying to iron out a last-minute deal. No such deal was struck, and for over a month, 35 days, nurses, healthcare workers, and their supporters marched in front of Mercy Hospital. The union demanding better pay, better working conditions, and a plan to hire more staff. A part of this tentative deal, the union ends the strike immediately, and all of CWA members vote on a new plan. Now, according to Catholic Health, they intend on adding 250 more jobs, and pay for the union members will increase. The CEO of Catholic Health, Mark Sullivan, says Mercy Hospital will start to reopen some of the operations that came to a halt during the strike. He says as everyone comes back to work, his staff has some healing to do. The CWA called this a groundbreaking tentative agreement. Union members are expected to vote on the deal over the weekend. The plan is to have all CWA workers return to Mercy Hospital by Wednesday. While the union prepares to vote on this tentative agreement, we expect to hear from both sides tomorrow. Reporting live in South Buffalo, Jeff Rusak, 7 Eyewitness News.
I love Buffalo. It'll always have a special place in my heart.
Also tonight, Jack Eichel bids Buffalo a fond farewell after the Sabres shipped him to the desert. Now, you might have woken up to see a push alert on your phone. Maybe you watched the morning team talk about it on Second Cup on 7+. Either way, a major wake-up call for Sabres fans. This was Eichel's first response to the news today, a tweet saying simply, "Vegas, baby, Vegas." Now, a man who was once billed as the future of the franchise is a Vegas Golden Knight. Adam Unger joins us with the details of how this all went down. Adam?
You know, Jeff, the trade requests actually started back in 2020 in hope that was ushered in by Taylor Hall and Eric Stahl a little less than a year ago, was jettisoned by a skid for the history books, a season-ending neck injury, and an impasse over his recovery. That really was the last straw. And the return for Jack Eichel was what Kevin Adams had always pictured, an NHL-ready player, a top prospect, and some top draft picks to boot. And Jack Eichel has opened up about a lot in the last 12 hours now that it is all finally over. It's not exactly the homecoming to Boston that he talked about over the summer, but it is a Stanley Cup contender in a bustling city. He joined John Bucci-Gross on ESPN's The Point and revealed his side of the waiting game.
Things haven't really went my way, and that's fine. People deal with adversity, and this is no different. It's just it's definitely been a long process. Kind of dragged out, and obviously pretty front in the media. A lot of people commenting on it, and just a lot of drama that you don't really want to deal with, but I guess you just learn to. And I'm just happy to be on the other side of it. I'm happy to be moving on.
Now, we took a much more robust look back at Jack Eichel's 6 years in Buffalo earlier tonight, but by the numbers, he was nearly a point-per-game player for the Blue and Gold, and of course, his last campaign was injury-shortened, but just 2 of his 139 goals were scored in his final 21 games in Buffalo in last year's COVID-shortened season, and after months of waiting, what was once a building block is now a part of the past. As far as the return for Buffalo's former captain, we'll hear from Sabres GM Kevin Adams and Sports Director Matt Beauvais later in the show. Jeff?
Thank you, Adam. Of the end of the Jack Eichel era. It's available right now on WKBW.com. That includes a unique look back at his career in a Sabres uniform, from the promising start 6 years ago to the bitter end that finally came this morning. All new at 11:03, COVID-19 vaccine clinics will be open next weekend for families of younger children. The Erie County Department of Health will hold clinics at Harlem Road Community Center, Hamlin Park School 74, and West Seneca Middle School. They'll be open November 13th from noon to 4. Children ages 5 and up are now eligible for the vaccine. Well, the White House now considers COVID-19 to be an occupational hazard. And now, larger businesses must follow a new mandate. Starting January 4th, all companies with at least 100 employees must either require vaccination or have employees take a COVID test every week. If an employee chooses to get tested, they will have to pay for it, but the company will have to give them the time off they need to get that done.
It's important at this point to remember, I think many employers have forgotten, but there is still the New York State vaccine leave mandate in place. So they are required to provide paid time off in order for employees to seek that vaccination for anyone who hasn't been vaccinated yet.
Now, companies can terminate employees who do not comply with either the vaccine or testing mandate. OSHA can also fine the company $14,000 per violation if they are caught not following the rules. COVID-19 hitting Western New York harder than most of the rest of the state. The 7-day test average for the region getting closer now to 6%. It's almost 3 times higher than the statewide average, nearly 6 times higher than New York City. Tonight, landmarks across the state are lit in teal in honor of Alzheimer's Awareness Month. The Alzheimer's Association says this is the most common form of dementia, and the impact it's having on this country is only getting bigger. They say more than 6 million Americans age 65 and up have Alzheimer's right now. That is 1 in every 9 people in that age group. That number is projected to double in less than 30 years. Some of the most common symptoms of Alzheimer's disease are memory loss, difficulty with problem solving, and confusion with time and place. Olivia Proya reports why it might be easier to spot these symptoms over the holiday season.
The Alzheimer's Association of Western New York says you may notice a change when you are home for the holidays this year.
You know, they'll speak to their loved ones over the phone and they sound okay, but when they actually get to see them in person, as they will be over the holidays, they realize, oh, wow, they have a lot more cognitive impairment than maybe they realize.
Andrea Cook from the Alzheimer's Association of Western New York says people with Alzheimer's could have declined at a quicker rate due to the pandemic.
One of the things that we know about Alzheimer's disease and other types of dementia is if you don't use it, you start to lose it.
When this happens, and they start talking in ways that don't make sense and you kind of catch on to what's going on, how do you respond?
We recommend that you don't try to argue and reason with a person who has dementia. As the person with the healthy brain, it's our responsibility to adapt to their version of reality as opposed to trying to drag them back into ours.
As a family member or a caregiver, what would be the next step after I realize some of those things are happening?
I think reaching out to that person's doctor, or you could give the Alzheimer's Association a call.
The Alzheimer's Association has a 24-hour hotline you can reach at 1-800-272-3900. And while Cook says it's important to make that call, it's just as important to show them love.
Just letting them know that they're safe and you love them no matter what is really the best thing you can do.
Olivia Proya, 7 Eyewitness News.
We have more of the warning signs you can look out for and that number you can call if you think a loved one is being affected by them. All of that's available right now on WKBW.com. 2 members of the 7 Eyewitness News family are now officially Hall of Famers. Senior reporter Eileen Buckley and former photojournalist Mickey Ostreicher took their well-deserved place in the Buffalo Broadcasters Hall of Fame tonight. Buckley spent decades as a reporter at both WGR and WBFO. Ostreicher also started in radio before he picked up a camera for us.
And it's such an honor that they recognize our work. So it means so much to me. It's overwhelming. It's surreal. I feel old, but it's just an amazing achievement.
Storytelling, humanizing things, a beginning, a middle, an end, wide, tight, medium shots. I mean, all those basics are still what makes wonderful television.
8 talented and accomplished men and women make up this year's class. Congratulations to all of the inductees. I was over there for the event tonight. Wonderful as always. Congratulations. All right, Andy Parker joins us now. He's taking a look at the rest of the week ahead and now peeking into the weekend. But he also has an eye, Andy, on a longer-term forecast.
Yeah, that's right, Jeff. Something that hasn't happened in 50 years could occur in Buffalo this winter. As we dive in deep to the winter outlook, we'll show you what to expect for the months ahead and answer the question, what's to come? All of that straight ahead.